2009, and I had a lot of things in my mind. That all the things I mentioned, I have a lot of papers, I have a lot of notes, all categorized as much as I could. I try to be organized as much as I can. So that's how I can find my items or things that. So each time when I find something, I'll pick it up, make it as a piece of a paper or something, and then put it in that categorized folder. And so I put it over there. And eventually I switched to computers and put everything digital, put a picture or something, make folders, and put a picture of the note, or if there's something like a file, or if there's something internet, website, music, whatever it is, I put it in that folder. So I've folderized all those information that I had. In the United States, internet was, in those days, internet was improving much faster, was growing much faster. So it gave me actually, a better tool to do my research in a much better way. I had a lot of researches about different things, but I didn't complete them. Each one of them was in the halfway. Beginning of the way, halfway, almost full, almost something like this. And when I came to Lancet, I had all these things in my mind circling. I met two beautiful people, Mr. Zarabi and his wife. Dr. Kaveh Zarabi was actually a very intelligent person here. He sat down, talked with me a little bit about these things in a meeting, and he got curious about me. So he invited me, we sat down for a coffee somewhere outside, and I explained. My English was not very good in those days, so it was difficult for me to explain English. Luckily he was Persian, so I was communicating with him in Farsi. It was much more convenient for me, and he encouraged me to start writing it down. So I started from there. So I wrote one book about one of the topics that I wrote. It's about Bermuda Triangle, and the mysteries about it. So attractive, and I wanted to say that Bermuda Triangle is not real. So my research was about that say no, this is just a idea that actually newspapers want to make money out of it, announce it, the media is announcing it, magazines, just to make money, business. But eventually I found some things in it and said, hey, wait a minute. Then I dig more into it. Then I said, okay, wait a minute. These two. Then I added 3, then 4, 5. Then eventually it became big. I said, uh-oh, there's something into it. I have a specific, actually, method to look through things. I don't go through the books, the method that the books teach me to go. I use those as tools, but I also turn everything to look at it from another angle. Okay, what if this? What if this? I don't stop myself. I don't limit myself. And I don't force myself to only use in one direction. No. Any direction comes up, I go. So I try to look at it from different angles, and amazing things came up. At one point, I was searching about doing research, just myself as a hobby, about earthquakes in Bermuda Triangle. Interesting topic. Nobody talked about this, right? So I started looking about that, and I found some things which was interesting for me. And one night, this is true, this is exactly what has happened. One night, I was just studying by myself at home, everybody was sleeping. And I came up with this, that in these couple months, there should be a big earthquake in the southern part of the Bermuda Triangle. I don't remember now how I came up with that result. I wish I knew, so I can go back and review that and document that. At least I can make that as a resource for my other researchers. But I was so excited because when I went online, it was like around 1 or 2 o'clock a.m. and I Googled it to see was there recently any big earthquakes happening. And I noticed that there was a shocking news, breaking news, something very high-end in the Fox News and all the other channels, that there was an earthquake in Haiti.
Been a huge earthquake, magnitude 7.0, just off the coast of Haiti, the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere. Early reports of extensive damage are coming from the capital, Port-au-Prince, 700 miles from Miami. Dan Harris has the latest.
It is hard to imagine a country less able to cope with a devastating earthquake. The 7.0 quake hit this afternoon about 10 miles west of Haiti's capital city.
And I looked into it, I saw the news, I saw all the people crying, I saw these houses all down, damages, all these things, reporters running around, and all the channels were talking about this. There was a big earthquake in Haiti. And I was so surprised that I came up with that it's going to be a big earthquake underneath the Bermuda Triangle. It was so interesting to me. From one side, I was so surprised of what I found, that I came up with that. From another side, I saw all those poor people are crying. It's so hard to cry. It's not easy. And anybody can cry anytime they want, unless you're a good actor. But really emotionally to cry, I think it's very hard. And those people were screaming, crying. Not only dogs and cats and these animals were dying, also human, kids, women, men, old. It doesn't matter if you're rich or you're poor. It doesn't matter if you're handsome or not. It doesn't matter if you're a woman or if you're a man. It doesn't matter if you're black or white. They're dead. And I lost my mom before that, and that really was a very strong connection between my feelings and their feelings. So I started tearing, started a little bit crying. And I started thinking, what happened? How did I came up with the same result? And it happened. So if I came up with the result that it happened, means that whatever I was thinking, the method that I was used to thinking to come up with that solution, it's true. But I lost that because I was so emotionally actually distracted with the incident itself. So I talked with this Mr. Kave and his wife and other friends that I had. I consulted with many other friends that they were also good people. And they told me to write it down. Think, relax. I sometimes do meditations, I like it. So one time I was doing meditation, some things came up and I started writing these things. So then one day, one person told me, why don't you talk with one of these research centers? They have tools, they know what you feel, they can help you. And he helped me to find some groups and some places and some institutes and these things. We came up with a person. His name was Mr. Bigger. He had some actually researches done about things, different things. He looks like he's an open-minded person. He's not very narrow-minded, not very focused, not limited. His company's name is... So I found that and I prepared a PowerPoint about some things. And the method I used, I wrote them down on a piece of a paper just for me. And I contacted that company. So then a gentleman called me. He said, what is your research about and these things? I talked a little bit about it and he made an appointment with me. So we had a conversation with each other. And meanwhile, I talked about the earthquake, what I did, and it happened. And he was surprised. He told me, what research you've done is not much related to our company, so I can connect you to the research department. But let me see what I can do. From another side, he told me that this research you did about earthquake, continue that. That's a very important thing. Try to focus on that. So one of the methods that I used in my research is that I pick two things that almost the same, and I start comparing them. By this comparison, I will find out some commonalities. I put them this side, and I find something that they're unique and they're different. I put them the other side, and I try to work and understand about the commonalities. And then I find a third one. Then I put in between. Then I find the commonalities between these three. It narrows down. until I come up with one or two or three very interesting points. That is the factor of all those three things that happened. So I had this big earthquake happening, this Haiti, and I was working on it, and suddenly in 1 year, another earthquake happened, a very big one.
Tonight, live at 5, the killer wave. One of the biggest earthquakes ever recorded sends a torrent across northeastern Japan, sweeping away everything in its path. The tsunami wiped whole villages off the map, leaves towns in ruins, and there are fears many hundreds have died. There was panic as the huge tremor struck, buildings collapsing into the street. Fires are still burning across the country. Millions of homes are without power.
The tsunami happened, and it hit the shore and hit all the cities that were nearby, caused a lot of damages, a lot of loss, and it was a big disaster. When that happens, I said, okay, that's the second sample. Maybe this gives me the commonality that I'm looking for. And when I found these two, I started, actually, these two samples that I had in my hand, I started digging into it, trying to find commonalities between them.